That's enough now, sir. Good day.
All right. Inexplicable feminist agenda.
Does that
Plus
take the
2
place?
authority against men.
It just pauses the other one, right? It doesn't.
No, it's all simultaneous. You just put it in a new spot, and it goes at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's been a while since I messed with that.
What's going on in here?
That's the backyard.
Still
Where
the
is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place
Oh, that's
sure
the kitchen.
isn't it.
Do I even have one?
But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere.
Up on Marvel Hill.
Why did you say that?
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, do you know a place called Marvel Hill?
No. But isn't that an expression, not a place?
An expression?
A saying. Up on Marvel Hill, a great high place. One that is impossible to climb back to.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money.
Could I trace the way back somehow to the exact street with the exact number on a building?
You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
All right, so you have now taken up 6 of the total 12 slots. Sorry, 3 of the 6 slots that are initially open of the 12 slots that you can open.
Right. Summer door closed for the winter. What's this? Darts or something? It's not letting me interact.
Don't need to worry about that yet. It's in the next area.
Oh wait,
All right,
there was something
Josh-
back there. What?
Hang on. What is our time?
We are at 57 minutes.
Okay, so I think... Okay, take a look at that, and then we'll circle around.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
An hour?
Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself.
Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain.
Lick it, but only a little.
Like it, but only a
Calmly,
little.
The lieutenant looks out of the window, then to you, licking the tasty rum stain off the counter, but only a little, then out of the window again.
What
Poor
are you
Kim.
doing?
Sorry, I drifted off into my own
We
thoughts
should
and now this happened.
A real drink would go well with those cigarettes you're looking for. That's a great combination.
I actually didn't know that you could get away with licking it. I thought that it would, like, pull you up short the way it did with the cigarette.
So
I was gonna say,
investigate
since
the
we're
body,
coming up...
and that's
Yeah, we'll investigate the body, and then we'll call it for the week.
Like, get the body
but-
down or just investigate it? Because those are 2 different
Investigate.
things.
What do we got here, Josh?
appears to be a man who has not had enough alcohol yet. Let's talk to the
looks
corpse.
at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath.
Look down.
A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
But then I'd lose all of my alcohol.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
Sure, why not?
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth. More instant, and more familiar.
You're probably gonna
than
need to put some
anything
content
you
warnings on these
expect.
episodes, Josh.
More fever than odor. It
Maybe a little
fills
bit.
This is the latest one.
flushing you from within.
Try to walk away.
I mean, being that close to a corpse in general is
Too late.
unpleasant,
It's
but
impossible
realizing that
to
he's like
begin. Your body
wrecked
burns
hungover and then right next to a dead body,
burst by burst,
ugh.
until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
Thanks.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
You think
If
ammonia
you can
would help?
handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor.
Well, not
I
you.
can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
Okay, where do we get
There's
ammonia
three
It's
from?
roast again.
east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't, there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the wipe check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
This is, I think, specific to modifiers from things you've done or said, not modifiers from a gear you've equipped.
Right.
I do love how like all these internal voices are these guttural, internal, impulsive things, and then the tutorial voice is a calm, static techno voice explaining how to do a thing.
Detective, you're hungover.
You just took morale
These are
damage
just
from
dents in
being
the-
unable to perform
No
Sherlock
cutting
Holmes
emerges
detective
for
work.
the time being.
What kind
Heavy
of boots?
workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Lieutenant, workers' boot tracks.
Noted.
Let us speak to child.
Oh boy,
Kuno's got this!
this kid is bad.
If there ever was
He
such
says
a
slurs
thing
and
as
is
an
mean.
ugly
I
kid,
just want everyone to know that ahead
this
of
is
time.
it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
In other
A
words, he's
moment
a
of your
child.
time, please.
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong. Throwing rocks.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that juicy shit is all about.
Juicy what
I
now?
mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno! Right then,
So yeah, you have met-
Kuno!
Kuno's right.
You have now
Missy.
met the drug-addicted child.
Fantastic.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Any character that speaks about themselves in the third person is irritating.
Kim, what should we do?
Shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
We're not bothered by the fact that they are throwing rocks at the centerpiece of a crime scene.
You will see.
It's been hanging there for 7 fucking days, Josh. I don't
Yeah,
think you're
that's
gonna
an,
get
what
a-
were
a
we
fresh
doing for the
autopsy on
3
this.
days before, like...
I think you know exactly what you were doing for the 3 days before this, based on what people have told you.
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
Look, I have questions
Alright,
for you.
Entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What
Was
you
that
got there?
censored in the original release? I don't remember it
Show me
being
what
censored
you
in
Yeah,
the original release.
it is censored. Yes, it is consistently censored across this game. Which I think there's like one instance where it doesn't kick in,
Shitload, pig.
but
What's your
a
question?
trivia about it is
Tell the
that
pig shit, Kuno!
what they're saying is in fact Flaubert, like the
If I
name
were to want to
Flaubert,
waste my time,
which is
like that,
apparently just
I would ask them
this
who
settings
knows how we got
slur
there,
for
indeed.
someone who is like a man who loves other men.
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch,
Oh.
that's all. Trying to make the Kuno sing into the popo phone. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking
I hate this kid so much.
or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in
I love this
fucking
kid so
Night City.
much.
I hate this kid so
Isn't
much.
that city anywhere? That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Why you gotta be right?
That joke
Kuno's
hit
eyes?
different in 2019
You ever
before
been where
Cyberpunk
Kuno's
2077
been?
had
You
come
ever
out.
been in Kuno's head?
Yeah.
You wanna know where Kuno was? You wanna know what Kuno's been fucking up to?
Don't tell him that, Kuno. It's lame.
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's City. Night City. Rage City. The City of Rage. That's it. And it's not lame.
Lame.
That's the name of Kuno's City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that. You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
It's worth mentioning before you click. Okay, never.
Some kind of
Oh,
superstar.
sorry.
Uh,
Worth mentioning what?
There's gonna
They
be
say
voice
the
acting
world
here.
isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, fuck off and die, in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Incredible. What did they give me?
It raised
Logic
your
minus
learning
one.
cap for a bunch of skills, and still -1 logic because you're delusional. I was gonna say, it's worth mentioning that Kuno's voice actor in the original version of this, before they added voice acting for every line, delivered all of the lines in a much more deliberately abrasive way, where like he's basically screeching every single line and right into the microphone. I think they just figured that the voice actor could possibly do that for every line.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound
We
surprised.
don't see a lot of police around here. That's all.
I've been here for 3 days.
Of course. What can I help you with?
My partner told me you may have ammonia. Can I have some?
Sure. I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
What is this fuck the police business?
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
Alright,
She
fine, never
shifts
mind.
in her seat. awkwardly.
Gotta run.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Can I borrow your
Sure.
gloves?
Keep them. I have another pair.
Alright, let's take a
Alright.
look at this body.
I
She's
was
surprisingly helpful. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, we'll take one more run at the body, but I think before we finish the week, we should have your thoughts, Josh. So let's take a crack at this, and then we can discuss a bit.
Yeah, alright.
Because Chris and I have seen all of this stuff. I've seen this dozens of times
There
because
he
I've
still is, looking right
played
through
it.
you
I've watched other
with his
people play it
white
in
eyes.
person.
The
I've
body
watched
below
streams of
is
it.
entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
So, even with the ammonia, it's still really, really low chance.
Yep. So you can think about whether you want to do this now or.
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
think I don't want to be a cop anymore.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Can't we do something else? I think I want to solve something else now.
Probably a good idea. Clear our heads. But before we can do that, you need to get your shit together.
Okay.
You should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it with special bonuses and effects.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Thought Cabinet is a fantastic name for this.
Yes, I feel like this is a pretty realistic simulation of what it could be like sometimes. You just gotta put something into your brain and it just comes back to it every now and again until suddenly you have some kind of revelation. Your shit is coming apart. It's rather unbecoming of a competent human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together, compressed in a small area, to achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with all two hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that'll help.
We don't have enough.
Oh, we haven't even unlocked those yet. Never mind.
Yeah.
So thoughts?
It's neat. Almost more of a point-and-click adventure game than really an RPG, despite the appearance. Although, I say that in terms of like RPG genre constructs. Obviously, this is, as we talked about, very similar to playing a tabletop game in a way that I don't think many RPGs that are designed to be like tabletop games ever really do.
I have to say that I could have 100 hours of discussion about this game and never feel inclined to debate the genre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that it's like you're, unlike other RPGs, you are conversationally interacting with the DM, in the form of the narrator. Yeah.
It's very much more like like it is an RPG in the tradition of games like Planescape Torment, but without all of the stuff that was in Planescape Torment that people didn't remember.
Right.
It's like only the parts of Planescape Torment that people remember playing.
Yeah, it's neat. It looks like I dig the art style. I certainly understand why it's gained such a cult following.
I will say that I actually don't like. By the time I had played as much as you have, I had a very similar perspective on it. I don't think the strengths of this game really come through until you play it longer.
Probably, yeah.
Like what it's doing is cool and interesting. But the thing about this game that I think is exceptional in this space is the intricacy and interest of its human portraits. Like this game has a lot of characters, and every single character, if you spend enough time with them, gives incredibly interesting depths to them. Like they have... Like you start to see little bits about like how they're talking to you and like what that says about them. Like you start to sort of understand like the grander portrait of themselves and like where they fit into this world. And I think that's something that this game does that not a lot of others that I've played really come close to. Like there's a reason why people keep like referencing characters in this game specifically in reference to like seeing someone do something in like a news story or like a public meltdown or something, because it's that element of it that kind of keeps coming back, that like you keep finding yourself thinking about long after you're finished playing it. I think I mean like, for example, right now, like, what would you say about your partner as a character?
He seems highly professional and probably the sort of person who's like, why am I here having to deal with these people?
I think it speaks to the strengths of the game that, like, a character who is just kind of the straight man for you in the beginning, or conceptually,
Yeah.
like, himself is probably one of the most interesting characters. It's not necessarily because there's something that hasn't even, like, come into it yet. It's just like, this is a guy who, seeing you do all kinds of deranged shit, just remains professional and calmly proceeds with the mission. And the question is, like, there's a tendency at first to assume that that's just like a contrivance, like that this is just something
Right.
to enable the game rather than something that represents like a personality or a viewpoint. And I think that one of the things that started to get my attention about this game particularly was I started to realize that that wasn't true.
What about you, Chris?
What about me? What?
Well, you've played this game, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually haven't finished it, but I've gotten through, I think, at half of it or so.
So did you have any thoughts to add?
In what sense? I mean, like Rutskrun said, there's a huge wealth of stuff to talk about. We didn't even get into all the drama about Zeo, whatever, the developer. There's the game's political leanings. But really, at the end of the day, what I love about this game is it's exactly my kind of CRPG role playing, where like a lot of what I love doing is putting myself in the headspace of a character and getting to roleplay that and having to make decisions that I feel reflect my character in the game space. And that's literally all this game is about, is figuring out who your character is and making those decisions and bouncing ideas and getting those ideas that you suggest get validated by the game. And that's why I love it. It's all about sort of building your own version of the yet as unnamed protagonist.
Right.
A lot of classic role-playing games that people would then go on to somewhat non-seriously but very passionately defend as like real role-playing games for years, I always felt would have stuff that represented like a more intricate character portrait or like more intricate personality-based role-playing. But it often felt like engaging with that content came at a cost with success at everything else. It felt like that there was a design paradigm that took a long time to be resolved of you have a limited number of skills to buy and points to spend, and you can spend it on saying or doing interesting things, or you can spend it on material success. But you have to make a choice which one you're going to experience more of. And I think that I'm very here for an era of games that do not have a choice like that involved.
Yeah.
No, the fact that there's no combat really does slant this game in a direction that, like you said, Josh, it could be argued that this is more of a point-and-click adventure, but the fact that it is so informed by RPG dynamics and just cuts the combat out, not entirely. I mean, there's still health, there's still physical altercations in this game, but like, they are about as a minority of this game as like cool conversation checks to beat a boss by saying a clever zinger is in those other games, right? It just flips the script on that, and that's kind of what I love about this.
Well, all right. That was our week of looking at Disco Elysium.
We will certainly not be playing this next week as we have a patron month. Whether or not we come back to this is an open question.